The only way to dispel darkness is by introducing light. So I'm stopping by today to help introduce a little light into your morning and to encourage you to do the same for someone else. Be a light bearer. Be one that introduces light to the darkness all around. Today we're looking at Judges chapter 16, starting at verse 19. And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. And she said, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before and shake myself. And he wist not the Lord was departed from him. This is the story of Samson and his encounter with Delilah. She convinces him to finally tell her where it is that his strength lies. Now, at this point, Samson has a misunderstanding, believing that his strength lied in his hair, but really, in reality, his strength came from God, and it was his obedience to that vow that he made to God that enabled him to have strength. But Samson finally lets go of it, treats it as if it's insignificant, and Delilah cuts off his hair, and soon Samson is now being afflicted by the enemy. The enemy is tormenting him, using him for nothing but pleasure and sport, looking at his low state where he has fallen to and finding great joy in it. Samson, if you read the story, it goes on. Samson finally gets to a place where rather than trying to just shake himself and depend on his own strength to come in and kick in so that he can overpower, Samson gets to a place where he realizes where his strength comes from, and that is God. And he cries out to God, and God strengthens him one last time. And Samson pushes on the pillars and causes the whole Colosseum area where the enemy is to fall down. And he overtakes many more enemies in his death than he did in his life. Here is why I'm telling you this passage of scripture. As a Nazirite, if you took that vow and you did something to break that vow, you had to start again. Afresh, start new. Now we know that scripture tells us here that God left him, but please understand that God never forsook him. God never just wrote him off as being worthless. It was his disobedience to the vow that caused him to lose out on that strength, that lack of reverence for God, that lack of obedience to what he had told God he would do, that caused him to lose out on that strength in that time. But I love the second part of the story because God does not forget Samson. As a matter of fact, scripture says, and his hair began to grow. And when he called out on God, God strengthened him yet again. It is not always the mistake that defines us, but it's what we do after we've made the mistake. It's after we've made the fall, after we have not withheld our temper, our attitude, whatever it may be. It's after we've made the mistake, what we do that defines how our story will end. Samson recognized his error and he called out to the one that was able to strengthen him, and he did overcome the enemy yet again. I don't know what your error is, where you have fallen, but I want to encourage you today. I want to turn the light on. It's not over for you. The second half can be the best half for you. You have fallen, and now if you will make the decision to cry out to God, he will strengthen you again. God is not interested in writing you off and pushing you aside and saying you're worthless. He's interested in using you even through your mistakes, even through your failures, even through your faults. That's the God that we serve. And if today you feel like your mistakes are too great, let me help you on this day after Easter. He got up so that you can have life. He got up to give you hope. He got up so that you can spend eternity with him. So do not stay in a state of being defeated, because you are not defeated. He paid the price for you. Now you begin to walk in that newness of life. Now you begin to walk knowing that you will make mistakes, that you have made mistakes, but that he will help you if you will turn to him after you've made that mistake. Today is a new day. Look at the Lord with great hope and excitement in your eyes, because he is here to strengthen you, and he will help you if you'll turn to him. Hey, take some time, share, comment, post, repost, do all of that. Let's introduce some light into the social media atmosphere and realize that today is a new day, and God is here not to undermine or to demean you, but instead to lift you up and empower you to do greater things than you've ever done. God bless you. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.